Want to know how Drew Coleman applied peak end theory to win Western Region Agent of the Year? And what does that even mean? Watch this. I'm Christy Keneally, and welcome to the Agent of the Year Spotlight Series by RateMyAgent. Today we're going to focus on the fabulous Drew Coleman from the Western Region. So let me tease you with the following, because that's what we do in these here videos. We're going to learn about when to ask for a review, peak end theory, how reviews should be marketed, and a very cool tech tip from Drew on how to save loads of time with email. You know I love the tech tips. Yes. Now, before I bring Drew on, let me show you his actual win and a little bit about him.
And the winner is Drew Coleman from Hassan Company Realtors.
My name is Drew Coleman. I'm from Portland, Oregon, and I help people achieve their real estate dreams. A lot of realtors sometimes get caught up in, oh, this is the way that we've always done things. And there's a huge value in that, having that experience. However, the customer is driving the ship in this business, and if you listen to what their needs are and can quickly adapt, I think that you're going to be ahead of the game. Our vision statement within my team is providing each client with a perfect real estate experience. And that word perfect is loaded, and it's intentionally loaded because you know that you're never going to achieve perfect. Nothing in the world is perfect, but if we make that our goal and we're fighting for that, then hopefully every client gets a better experience than the client before. And that doesn't mean the client before got a bad experience. It just means you're constantly in a state of growth mindset, and saying, hey, how can we do better to help people do something that makes, on average, them have 50 times more wealth than someone who has not achieved that.
It is my pleasure to honor and highlight from the West Region, Drew Coleman
is in the house. How are you, sir?
Unbelievable. Better than anyone.
So first of all, Drew, congratulations on your gigantic win. Besides winning the Western Region Agent of the Year award, I was going to ask you, what else did you actually like about the awards show?
Well, the award show was fun. I mean, you and I go way back. So we, whenever you touch something, Christy, you bring a lot of fun and energy, and especially in Zoom when, everyone's in their little box and we all just sit here talking heads. I think I liked how silly we made it, but I also thought one thing I love that Rate My Agent is doing is we focus a lot in our business on production and numbers, and that's wonderful. But what really matters, and people tend to forget this, is it matters how the clients are treated and how they feel. And I love that you're trying to turn that on its head and say, hey, what do clients think? Who's providing the best experience? And that was my favorite part of it, seeing agents around the country that have really put their heart and soul into doing the best job for people.
Oh, completely. I couldn't agree with you more. We turned it on its head, and I even wore a blue tuxedo.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to dive right in. I'm getting right to it. I want you to talk to me a little bit about the principles you live by that you have stuck with, even in this crazy year that we've had.
Well, I think I alluded to it a little bit ago, but put the client at the center of everything and realize that, Jerry Seinfeld has a funny line about, what people's top fears and stressors are, right? And number one is public speaking. Number two is death, right? So it means you'd rather be in the coffin than the one giving the eulogy. But real estate is not far beyond that. It's not farther down the stress and pain scale. So our job is to understand and have empathy for them and understand they're making huge financial decisions that they're not used to making, and put our heart where their heart is, but also give them good advice. There's a reason that you shouldn't act as your own lawyer. Same thing. That's what representation is all about, and that's what agency is all about. So That is one of the core principles that we live by, is just putting the client first. And it sounds very simple and trite, but really executing it takes some effort.
So speaking of that, we talked a little bit about your secret sauce for getting reviews. How do you get the number of reviews you get?
Well, part of it is, first thing to anything, you got to ask to get what you want. So we talk to clients up front before we even ask for the review. We talk when we first meet with someone and say, hey, here's our goal. We're trying to provide you with a true 5-star experience. And that's not like 5-star, yeah, my Big Mac was okay. It's 5-star, truly elite, Ritz-Carlton level service. And hey, I'm a human. If at some point during your transaction and your experience, we fall below that 5-star level of service, will you let me know so that we can remedy it? And if we do provide that 5-star level of service, at the end of the transaction or at some point in the transaction, we'll be asking you for a review. And really that's, if I can give everything I have to you, if you can give me something back, that would be that review, because that's the social currency today. A preponderance of millennials trust online reviews more than they trust peer reviews. So that social proof is really, really important in our business.
Yeah. And also you mentioned to me peak end theory, which I went and read up a little bit on.
Good. I didn't make it up, did I? Okay, it's
no,
real.
You totally didn't make it up.
Okay.
It was like,
All
that
right,
guy was onto something here.
Sure.
Can you talk a little bit about this idea of making experiences memorable, or just that the peak end theory?
Yeah. So the peak end theory really says that people remember things based on 2 points in that experience. And one is the high point in the experience, right? So whatever the experience might be, people remember that high point in the experience, and they also remember the end. So those are really, if you want to focus on providing elite level service to someone, you need to focus on the moment when emotions are at their highest, or excitement's at its highest, or if the peak is a negative peak, you need to work very hard on sanding that down, and then the end. So really that's where an agent should put their focus as far as client experience. Now, of course, always you need to be on your best behavior and doing your best, but sometimes maybe right after the offer is accepted, that's often a very high peak in the transaction. And those of us who've been doing the business for a long time know that, hey, then you get the inspection and gosh, your dream house does have a little bit of dry rot and has some siding that needs some love.
Oh, no.
Nothing's perfect. I assure you, there's no perfect house. We have clients who build houses, and then they come in and the first thing they say to us is, we love this house, but here's the 6 things that we would have done differently. And buyers need to realize that there's no such thing as perfect, but hitting them and asking them, hey, would you review us? Did you feel great about getting, and hey, in today's day and age, getting an offer accepted in a lot of markets today is a pretty tall feat in and of itself. So, hey, would you mind giving us a review? Has this been a great experience for you? We would love to get a review that's a verified, bona fide review that RateMyAgent can speak to. So hitting them then, or hitting them at the end, and making sure that that end and the key handoff and the excitement, you're matching that client's excitement throughout the transaction, especially when they're getting those keys. That's an awesome big day for them.
So then when you're asking at just the right time, at a peak or at the end when you're celebrating, have you found that because RateMyAgent doesn't require your clients to create an account, have you found it to be a fairly frictionless process? This is a totally leading question. I'm totally leading you.
Have you found that RateMyAgent, which has the best process, has the best process? Well, there's a reason that Amazon has gone through the roof when they added their 2-day shipping and their buy with 1 click. And RateMyAgent has really embraced that, which instead of making them sign up for 15 different accounts and getting a verification code and all that, it's simply get in there. Hey, was this your review? Is this what you'd like to say about that agent? And that has been really great for our clients. They've loved that simple experience because they're going through a lot of stuff. Where did I put my toaster? And where I can't, my 4th bedpost, I can't sleep in this house. If you're asking them for a review at that point, we need to make it frictionless, and RateMyAgent's done an awesome job of that.
So now you've got reviews. You've asked, it's been frictionless. It's a lot like Amazon. How do you market your 5-star reviews?
Intermission. And we're back.
How do you market your 5-star reviews or your 4.5-star, whatever?
Yeah.
How do you market them?
We go to social because that's where you can see it. And if you can add a smiling face and use that tool to connect the review to the person who gave the review, and, proof of social success is very important. You tell them what you're going to do, you tell them what you're doing, you tell them what you did, you tell them, hey, I did a good job for John and Sally, and I'd love to do a great job for you. So that builds that social trust in a world, especially right now, where everything is in this little Zoom screen box that we live in.
Yeah, I'm right. Living in the Zoom screen box. And just for those who are watching, RateMyAgent does have an automated social media manager. So you don't even have to think about this. You can schedule your positive reviews to hit Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and actually even feed into Google My Business, all automated. And I know you also like video testimonials.
I do. I want to put them all on TikTok. I think you add them to, maybe I could get you hip hop rapping in the background or something like that. That would be.
Yeah, let's work that out.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Note to IT at RateMyAgent. But I do want to quickly mention, and let me just show everybody real quick. Within RateMyAgent, if you go to completed reviews, that is where you can add a video testimonial. You just put in a YouTube link. They're easy peasy, mac and cheesy, as my kid would say. All right, Drew, I love the tech tips. I live for the tech tips. And besides RateMyAgent being a wonderful free tool that builds everyone's digital footprint, you've got a tech tip that saves you time. And it has to do with auto expanding text through Google Chrome. Tell us about this text expander.
So this is just
it sounds like a belt. I'm just telling you right now.
A text expander. Yes, after COVID, I need a belt expander too, but that's not what this tip is. This tip is an auto text expander, which allows you to take anything that you type over and over and add a little short key to it so that you can just, and it'll pop right out. So if you don't mind, I'm going to share my screen just so you can kind of see this. And this is not a life-changing tip, but when you think of the time you might save, maybe it is a life-changing tip.
Yeah.
So this is what it looks like. Auto text expander for Google Chrome official. You can find it in the Google Chrome extension library. So what it does is whenever you're typing anything in Chrome, you can type some shorthand, and you can see when I don't even type my last name, I hit C at whenever I need to type Coleman. But let's say I wanted to create a new one that said RMA for RateMyAgent, and saying, I hope you had a great had a great transaction. Let's hope that they did. You will be getting a request from RateMyAgent soon. Would you please fill that out, whatever it might be, and then they will be prepped and ready. So anytime I type RMA in any sort of email browser or any sort of web tab, anything in Chrome, right? Everything lives on the web, it seems these days. They're going to be able to type that in, and that's a huge time saver. So that's a fun little tech tip for the day.
Oh, I love the tech tips. So everybody think about those things that you type over and over and over again. And this is a way to not do that ever again. Shortcuts for your desktop. I love it. All right. Next thing I want to just cover is your best advice for agents with regard to managing online reviews. Best advice.
Yeah. That's a good one. So best advice is one, people hire you for your advice in the difficult times, not just, it's all when everything's great, I got the house, yada, yada, that's wonderful. And we get to celebrate that. But people want you in the tough, and they want you in the trench, in the foxhole with them too. So when there's a tough decision to be made, I always try to make the most difficult phone call first. I try to make it right away, because I can tell you time heals no wounds in real estate, not a one. If there's something where the client's upset, the client's, the listing agent did something and your client's got a little bit perturbed, call them right away, try to get to a solution, lean into the problem. That's one of the best things that you can do. It's uncomfortable, but you're going to have to deal with it eventually. So take the emotion out of it, take a deep breath. Your job is to attenuate any circumstances, not to turn the volume up. And just respond to all those reviews too. If you get a bunch of great reviews, wonderful. Say thank you for taking the time to leave me a great review. But if you get one that's like, hey, that Drew, I wanted someone that was shorter with more hair and I ended up with him. Take time to.
That sounds like me.
Yeah, there
you're going to send them to me.
Your referral chain is going to really build there. But take the time to respond to that too, and come back, and then just use the system. Use Rate My Agent. Set expectations with them, like we talked about from the beginning. I'm going to give you 5-star service. I'm going to ask you for a review. How are we doing? We did great. Would you leave this review? And close that ecosystem and make sure that they're part of your process.
Woo. And scene. Oh,
Okay.
Drew, my friend, again, congratulations. Honestly, I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of what you stand for. And thank you from Rate My Agent for all that you do.
Well, thank you to Rate My Agent for this great honor. And thank you guys for putting professionalism first in our industry. It's a very needed cause.
So, ladies and gents, lots of great advice given there. Make sure you activate your free Rate My Agent profile by going to ratemyagent.com or leveraging your MLS integration. I want you to consistently gather and request reviews because A, it's free to do, and B, it is your entry ticket into the 2022 Agent of the Year Awards. Look for links above or below this video for more information. And that's a wrap.